Right, what is going on, everybody? Another follow-up to another video, another happenstance. I like to take my slow, sweet time when coming out with these videos because there is so much that has happened within the world of cryptocurrency that it is sickening. It's almost like we have moved like 30 years plus in the space of 30 days. I mean, you've got the United States government trying to push this new law and plan, which they call the TikTok bill, which is really just a bill to shut down any social media site they feel they want to do. And you got the SEC going after Coinbase and going after Binance. It's almost like, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. So a lot of this is just a follow-up to some of the videos that I've did. One of the video I did previous, I'm going to do the best I can to make this video as short as possible, and really just kind of talking about, one, where I'm at now in the transition on the way to trying to obtain a level of some type of financial freedom in some way. So at the current point, as far as my own investment side of things, it's actually not so bad. I would say we're in March, so as the market has, I feel like, reverted and corrected, I've probably made about 50% of my current 401k in less than 30 to 35 days. And that my 401k as it sits right now took me 5 years to get where it's at, and like that's saying a lot, you know what I mean? And a lot of why I think the crypto itself is, the draw to it is so important, because it provides like that growth so quickly. But I'll say this, it's a bit different, specifically being in the start of a bull market coming out of a bear. It's a different type of feeling compared to when I first came to crypto at the top of the market way back in January, around this time frame, September 21st, kind of coming into it and having to live through and go through this entire drag. That was, man, that's probably one of the toughest moments in my life. And I feel like the altcoins had pumped up based off of all that hype, and I got caught up in that. So you live, you learn, you keep moving on. But as far as monetary wise, I'm doing pretty well, actually. Some of my calls to you all last time, based off DBI, we had climbed up almost about 600%, and then this line, this red line, which you go on my previous videos, you'll see it, and I realize I didn't talk about it, but I try not to make sense of it, because again, when you're looking at things like this, it's weather, man. Not all this stuff is going to be 100% correct, but I considered that we were going to have about a 25 to 30% at least dip back close to the previous high to test it, which we did. And I put in a mental note to pick up more. So I'm still in the profit on DBI, but I picked up more around in this range. And I'm still have a target in DBI to think that we're probably going to hit around 10 cents. That's my target. The cool thing is, like, everybody who bought here, even though they were pushing me down in rank on the way up, my one little buy at this point just like put me hundreds of paces ahead of everybody. So I guess worrying about position is not a big deal when you DCA, but it gives you more power, because my DCA stack, I bought here, but I bought here on top of profit that I pretty much banked in all the way up to here. So it's like, if that pushes up to 0.10, I'm actually going to be sitting pretty nice. And so moon boy projections, I guess, on this, although I don't like to consider myself a moon boy. I figure if we're going to go through a cycle, and this is like the first start of DBI and is in the cycle as it is with the NFTs that came out, like, we're going to dollars. I don't know where in the dollar spectrum. I feel like 10 cents is going to get everybody's attention, and that'll be the people who maybe look at it like this, because everybody is on the sidelines still. I think a lot of people are still on the sidelines because they're afraid, and I don't, based off what's happening. But I feel like when we hit 10 cents, everybody's going to see it, and they're going to be like, what's DBI? why is it at 10 cents? How did it get to 10 cents? And they're going to ape into it. And, you know, luckily, if you snatched a bag in this area, I mean, right now, you still could. You still run a higher risk buying now because your sell risk is going to be down here. I would be thinking of a possible exit if we crossed this green line that I drew down to the very bottom, because that's basically, that's you're eating up all the profit. Goodness gracious, all these people on here. Who else is going to pop up? All right. So you're eating up all the profit, that you have from the previous all-time high. But that's a good signal. So I'd say if you're buying in right now, it's a good mental thought to have a risk tolerance to not go below these areas, specifically 0.008, because you're gonna eat more. But it's a good place to DCA, I would think, because we're probably gonna range in this range for a while. My hope is, but based off what I'm seeing here, I don't know. That's pretty strong. That's pretty bullish. I would expect that to start continuing up, maybe even stronger, and we might hit 10 cents before I can even think. On to the next one. We're 7 minutes into it, rambling on about DBI. Texas, they fixed the chart. They got rid of the demon wick, the $1 wick that knocked it all the way down. So Texan, I was still in profit, and I took a lot of profit, and I used a lot of profit from Texan. Probably shouldn't have, but I felt like, I'm going to take some profits from Texan and throw them into DBI, which kind of helped me DCA my position there. And lo and behold, goodness sakes, Xen actually did something different. Like I told you guys before, in the last video, I said we could go either way. I was waiting to see what this is going to do, whether or not it just fell out and dropped to the floor, because it had to build a kind of base. And they created something with Xen, with DB Xen, which allows people to burn Xen. But then with the DB Xen, they have it and they get paid like ETH on owning it. Now, the burn factor on Xen to burn it into DB Xen, it's like the gas fees are astronomical in my opinion. It's like $100 to burn 2 million Xen. So I digress. The way I looked at Xen, building blocks. The more building blocks that I have, the more precious those blocks are, the more expensive they're going to be. And so I've been watching this little area right here. This what looks to be like a nice double bottom, triple bottom area. That was a great sign, and it was good to see that kind of break out, because it's good to see it kind of build support and come into the RSI somewhere. So Xen is a DCA for me. I did pick up some Xen, and believe it or not, I did sell some Xen profits to DCA into DBI. DBI is what it is, but I keep DCA into it. Heck, of course, still on a rip. I'm waiting on my mints to come out in May, pretty much. What I've got set aside. I'm stuck on a trajectory there. I've got to wait pretty much until that time frame, and hope that the gas fees to break out of that aren't going to be so crazy. So May is like a month and a half from now, which is crazy. I can do nothing about it. Everybody's just lost their minds when we had this major split, but it's been a long time, and we've had just pretty much 3 months. If we close out this month in the green, that's a 3-month run. Like I said before in other vehicles, man, it's kind of like trains leaving the station. And if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're getting left behind. So you're probably wondering, on the other aspect, why the heck am I DCAing into DBI so heavily? And honestly, it boils down to one thing. I understand the argument behind Hex. I understand it. I understand the argument behind the other coins. DBI is a misunderstood meme coin that people still downplay because they still see it as a crap coin and think it's just a meme coin. But that guy's network, I don't know what they're doing, what he's doing, how they're doing it, how they have a plan, but his network as an individual with all these other people, it just kind of draws my attention to it. And I can't ignore it. I cannot ignore it. It's something to where, like, I feel like they're building something that doesn't exist in modern day cryptocurrency. You're not going to find it. And it's like, here's a good example with Hex. There's this new guy out there who's making like these really cool, funny songs with it, which is pretty hilarious. Like he's doing Pulse Chain Girl and living in a Pulse Chain world, trying to get Hex to be viral, in a way. And so let me just pull this guy up. All right, so shout out to this guy, is Westcott Crypto. But it's the same concept, right? So his actions can make, if he makes a popular video about Hex, that's going to be viral. So this is what I'm talking about, Richard Fried. So this is a dude who's making funny videos like in regards to Hex and the community. Hilarious stuff. Now you take that and juxtapose that with DBI, right? It's the same thing. It's like the face of the business, the transparent face of the idea or the token is in front of you. So when you have that level of transparency and then you also add humor to it, and then you also add like NFTs to that, it's just to me, it's a whirlwind of fire that nobody understands. And it's still less than 7,000 followers and, dev. And in like the coin itself is pushed 600%. It's done better than Hex in the short time of opinion. I mean, yes, it is a meme coin, but in performance, it's done better than Hex, and it's given me more money on my investment than Hex could have given me. So that's one of the reasons like I'm really kind of drawn to this one and just kind of sticking in for it for the ride, because it's different. I mean, I don't really like memes, but this is probably one of the only memes that I trust, just because of the fact that it's supported. Like, it's supported. There are people working on it that and it's not that they're not working on other things, but you can clearly something's going on if this guy's network spans to the owner of CZ Binance. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, as far as overall things with where I'm at, with how I'm doing, actually not too bad this year. I wish it could be a lot faster, but I have to be patient. But gains are slowly being made. I'm slowly creeping myself back up. Of course, anything can happen. All of these coins could go to zero. The government can make them entirely illegal, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy all the off-ramps and get their fuddy-fuddy hands. But you know what? It's not really the government. It is the traditional banking system behind it that's doing it. They're trying to implement their control so they can come out with their JP Morgan wallet and their JP Morgan exchange and then just like take over. That's the end game. That's what they're going to try to do. But in my opinion, they're a little too late. And of course, with BRICS and them going to the yuan, crazy thing about it is it's like America, we're so used to being on top, but it's not like us as Americans. We didn't borrow all this money. The government borrowed all this money and sold inflation to the world. So now they're going to export inflation back to us because they don't want it anymore. And the way I look at it is, if exchanges are still around, we're still our own sovereign country. It's not like China can tell us that we can't do crypto, or they can't come here and ban BTC or Bitcoin, although they are trying to, through the mediums of the banks and ultimate control and socialist agendas. I'm not going to get into details on, but they can't do that. You still have off ramps. I could totally see what if one day one Chinese yuan or yan or dollar. One Chinese dollar is worth 1,000 American dollars. What if it flips and America becomes this quasi-free, third world, crazy, Mexico-ish kind of country? Nobody thinks it can happen, and that's exactly why I think it could happen. It can happen anywhere. But it's just gonna, that would just drive that gap between the have and the have-nots like super high. Expect the unexpected. This America is not the America that I grew up and thought it was. The illusion of freedom is what we have. The Patriot Act is just as bad as this TikTok act they're trying to pass. It was worse. They can spy on us through our cell phones. This general phone spy on you. Technically the government, if they feel that your organization is a terrorist group, the United States government could deem it a terrorist group and come after you. They have the power and authority. They could do that. But they have to, it's like frogs in a boiling pot. Every American's sitting there. And all this crap is happening, but does 90% of the world know about it? No. Do they care? No, they have no idea. They're getting the measures enforced so that by the time they do know about it, it's too late for them to do anything about it. It's just the way it is. So I digress. Not going to talk any more about it. I want to be easy to your guys' time, but just say, yeah, man, things are actually doing pretty well around this time. I'm just going to hold. It's going to be a long holdout. My time frame for the bull market to end, I think I said this before, is probably around September 2024. August, September 2024 seems like a really good time for this to end. I think we'll see some disbelief here already. Like, there's already disbelief right now all over. I think it'll get a little stronger, be a little heavier, and then we'll have a bit of a run up. September we'll probably see profits taken, and then 2024 will be like everybody else finally coming into it and being like, oh, we're in a bull market now, and they'll buy and they'll push the prices up. But also 2024 will be a liquidation year, because September, October, November, people want to get their profits for Christmas, so they're going to probably want to sell before that. And I just see it as a big, like, towards the end of 2024, a big sell. Top of 2025, like January to like May, it's going to be delayed because people are still going to think, oh, the bull market is on, it's 2025. Nah, the bull market's ending. Probably about mid-2025 is where they'll finally accept it's a bear market again. So, in my time frame, yeah, mid-2024 next year is probably when this is all going to fizzle out. So what that means in retrospect is that gains are going to happen pretty darn quick. And honestly, I feel like they're just going to hit so quick. They're going to catch everybody off guard. I'll leave with this, moon projections on Hex. This is what I honestly think will happen, because everybody right now will be happy when they hit 51. They're going, oh, life-changing money, I made it. But I think Hex is going to blow right past that. I think it's going to, if you look at the monthly candles and the strength in the monthly candles, these three, if we continue on, and the fact that the RSI is kind of starting to cross, maybe has a little bit more ways down to go, it would not surprise me if Hex just went on ahead and went to $5. Let me condense it so it kind of makes sense. It wouldn't surprise me if we came up. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I've got my money. And then there's a massive sellout. Oh, the market's over. Is it really over? No. And then, like, before anybody knows it, 5. And anybody who sold out here is going to be chasing it up. Anybody else watching the sidelines is going to be chasing it up. We're going to hit 5. Then they're going to think that's as high as it can go, and it'll be over. And that'll be around I skipped through a whole year. I went through 2024. So let me back this up. We kind of go up. January 2024, I think we'll probably hit that $5 mark. Come down towards the end of 2024, and then we'll have that blow off. And that blow off, I think, is going to push us into those weird numbers like $30 Hex, because it's kind of the same thing that happened here. Everybody who bought here within that first year time frame, had good profits by 2021. And they held on for a while. If we go back to Dex.io and you look in the past how the Hex price moved, and everybody was like, they made pretty good money right here. They're millionaires have made, and then multimillionaires made at this point, right? But everybody at this point thinks it's going to keep going, and it doesn't. That's where it's going to fall out. You can see where it kind of came up, it died down, came up again, and then just took off euphoria for a whole rest of the year. So I feel like the same thing is going to happen within about mid 2024, and then it'll blow off by the end of 2024 into January, December, somewhere up here, we're going to be in the $10 to $30 range of a Hex. And I think it's totally possible, and it's totally going to happen. That's just my opinion. Don't take that as financial advice, but people's expectations are a little too low right now. And from what I've seen, market's going to do things really quick and very fast that nobody expects in a very quick time. Am I forgetting anything else? 20 minutes in. Daggone it, I talk too long in these videos. I talk way too long, man. Because it's also a vlog, too. And I know, like, hey, end of the day, do you want to hear me ramble on for 30, 40 minutes? Probably not. But this is like, for me, it's like a historical vlog. I'm tracking this crap. I am tracking. Pulse Chain's coming out. Pulse X. I already been on the testnet, V3. Found a random altcoin, got like 500,000 PLSX, 500,000 TP PLS or whatever. Staked it. messed around with it. I like it. So I think they hit the snapshot on that originally around February, because my DBI stack was there, but it was like way low. And I was like, oh, they hit this in February, sometime in February. I like the fact that they're sneaking that snapshot in, though, because it's like, hey, nobody gets an unfair advantage. We'll all be caught with our feet flat down, and we'll have to, at least I can compete. Boom. Move right off to the races. So my whole plan with that is just to take whatever altcoin somebody provides liquidity for in the program and trade that mug for PLX and Pulse. Just those two. I just want those two. So I already got a Hex stake. That should copy over on the Pulse net. And then if they do it before May, I'll have 2 stakes to take out. If they do it after May, I'll have a bag of Hex to stake out, and I'll have to decide whether I want to take that bag of Hex I have or stake it until May of 2024 and bank on that being the top, or if I want to just leave it liquid and trust myself. I don't trust myself, so I'm probably going to end up staking it. So all that is to say, keep hustling, keep grinding, keep going. We all going to make it. I hope that you guys made it. I hope that most of you guys got some crazy wins off these ones I've been shilling to you guys. DBI, if you bought any of them, you went up. Like if you bought Texan when I talked about it, you went up. If you bought DBI, you went up. You probably went. I think by the time I talked about it last, you went down. But if you bought it when I talked about it here, you went up. Depends on when you heard me talk about it. Heck, what else is there? Hex. I really didn't talk about Hex. Xen. If you put a couple $100 in Xen, hey, you probably made a couple of $100. I just leave it sitting there. Don't take it out. I'm leaving my little bag of Xen, just leaving it there. It kind of proved to me that, hey, okay, we kind of got a little. This is different. This is not that. This is straight. Let's keep doing this. Let's do this. Let's go up and go from there. Target for Xen, 5 zeros and a 6. Double me up. So that's all I got. Wish you guys the best. As always, I don't do videos a lot. This really is a vlog. This is like my life. This is my real life. I am not a millionaire. I'm not a trillionaire. I don't roll that way. I'm literally just discovered Hex, and I'm talking about it through this medium because I'm trying to get out of the matrix, baby. But all told, you guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later, and peace out.